What's good? What's good? What's good? This is Raw Truth Media giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know. Let's get the likes up, family. Let's share this video throughout all social media platforms. Today is definitely a good day. I don't know if you've noticed this, but Swac recruiting is at an all-time high right now. Now, other HBCUs are recruiting well, but I wanted to highlight the Swac because the Swac is at an unprecedented level right now. We cannot sugarcoat that. The other day, Alcorn State had two 3-stars. And they're not scrubs either. At all. And when you get a 3-star, let me tell you about 3 stars. In the FCS, when you get a 3-star, it makes a difference. It truly makes a difference. And if you haven't heard already, Coach T.C. Taylor is recruiting his tail off right now. This is at a high level. I'm about to break down some of the players who decided to take their talents to HBCUs. Let me get this all hooked up real quick. Hold on, give me about 2 minutes. All right, it's shorter than that. How's my audio sound? Does it sound clear? Let me know in the comment section. One of the most impressive recruiting pickups, in my opinion, was the transfer portal edition, Seven McGee. Seven McGee, if you look at his 24/7 sports player comparison, they compared him to DeAnthony Thomas. Can you imagine that type of talent as Seven McGee in the Swac? He has the chance, and I'm not trying to put so much pressure on the young brother. Shout out to Lawrence RBE. He says, top of the morning. Everything is clear. Thank you. Auntie Garden says, clear. Thank you so much. Can you imagine Seven McGee doing kick returns in the backfield as a running back, in the slot as a receiver? You put him anywhere outside receiver, he's going to get you yards. 4-star, and he should have been used more at Oregon. I don't know why, but when you watch his film, he's the real deal. But let me go to Grambling. Let me show some love to Grambling. Grambling has a transfer portal edition. If you were living under the tree, this hit the news for all HBCUs. Miles Crawley, the former quarterback of Alabama State, is transferred to Grambling State, 6'4", 210, 215. For those who actually watch film, I tell you one thing, Grambling State, you are having a great quarterback. He was underutilized at Alabama State. I'm not trying to blame coaches or nothing. It just wasn't a good fit. But if you haven't watched the game he had against UCLA, you will understand that Miles Crawley has the tools to be a successful quarterback in the SWAC. And linking him with Coach Jackson is a match made in heaven. This is the type of quarterback Hugh Jackson looks for. Tall, pocket presence, has some athleticism, but rather pass and run. That's the quarterback he's looking for. He's not looking for quarterbacks who is just trying to run, and scramble. That's not what Hugh Jackson's looking for. He's looking for quarterbacks you could do multiple reads. If you can't read three defensive coverages, if you're a one-read quarterback, then that's not a fit for Hugh Jackson. Shout out to Simply Beautiful. Peace and blessings, my sister. She says, good morning, Raw Truth Media. SWAC has been fire conferences. In my opinion, so happy that all three institutions are doing the damn thing. Yeah, they're recruiting at a high level, man. And what about the TC Taylor haters at? Where they at? They was telling everybody that he can't recruit. He got a All-American JUCO quarterback, and he also has recruited some stud athletes, some 3-stars. He may get another 4-star. Shout out to JSU Tigers, man. Peace and blessings, my brother. New Legacy says, Miles Crawley's not the answer for Grambling. They need something better. They need somebody who's going to be more accurate, more efficient. Well, I don't think that Hugh Jackson's going to stop recruiting, but he's an upgrade. He's won games in the SWAC. Plus, he's talented. I don't think people realize Miles Crawley has a lot of untapped potential, and it's up to Hugh Jackson to figure it out. Lawrence RBE says, when it's all said and done, Prime leaving with his protege in place is a smart move by JSU. I think other HBCUs, including my alma mater, Texas Southern, should take some elements from what Prime did. Speaking of Texas Southern, they also recruited, got a commitment from a quarterback, Keenan Evans, 3-star quarterback. And a lot of fans wanted him on their team. He was very popular. I know Jackson State wanted him. I know Alcorn wanted him. Many other SWAC teams wanted Keenan Evans. Keenan Evans decided to go and commit to Texas Southern. And you could never have too many good quarterbacks We already know that Texas Southern has Andrew Body, who's elite, who is that guy. But you to build a program for sustained success for the future, even when uh, Andrew Body goes to the next level, you need a quarterback under him to learn the game from and to one day be the signal caller for Texas Southern. This is what I wanted Jackson State to do. How many times have I said I wanted Jackson State to continue to recruit quarterbacks, no matter if they had Shador or not? I've been saying it for the longest, and I believe TC Taylor will follow the blueprint of recruiting quarterbacks. Just watch; he's gonna get some more quarterback commitments, even though he just had a commitment from junior college All-American Philip Scott. And for those who are saying that Philip Scott, oh, he's just a JUCO guy and all that stuff, I watched this film, rocket arm. And if you have fast receivers, that's all he needs. Now, his accuracy, some ways need to improve a little bit, but it's not far off. It's correctable. If he's the starter, because we still got to see who Jackson State gets at quarterback, who else they get. If Philip Scott is the starter, expect big numbers from him. Shout out to my brother Sonic Boom, man. Good people. He said, "What's up, people?" Ta-da. Says, "I'm shocked at what TC is doing in recruiting." I'm not shocked because I've looked at him on Twitter actively recruiting players. The only question was, would he keep the commitments or get commitments for the recruits he's recruiting since Dion has left? And what we're seeing right now is he's not missing a beat at all. Lawrence LBE says, when it's all said and okay, I read that one. Legacy says that the game against UCLA, they got blown out. Man, that was horrible what they were doing out there. They got to start building programs in the Swac to dominate FBS schools. It's coming. When the playing field gets leveled, it's going to be a wonderful thing. Trust me. It's going to be something that to behold of. Let's get the likes up. Let's share this video throughout all social media platforms. This is very important. The other day, also, Jackson State had a commitment from Shamar Allen from junior college, 6'4", 300 pounds, versatile offensive line, can move well, can play the left tackle or right tackle, even guard positions. Very underrated addition. Alcorn State 2 days ago had a 3-star wide receiver. I repeat, 3-star wide receiver. Athlete, Amarion Blakes. He is fast as hell. For those who doubted Coach McNair, Coach McNair is recruiting his tail off right now. And I believe since Jackson State was the team to field a lot of talent, it pushed SWAC coaches to recruit at a high level. It pushed them. That's why you see many teams, and expect to see FAMU get big recruits as well, especially on signing day. It's going to happen. This is a fun time if you're HBCU, if you are correction. I made an error on the JUCO quarterback's names. Philip Short. My apologies. Philip Short, not Philip Scott. Philip Short. I want to apologize for that, but yeah, Philip Short, JUCO All-American. Expect big things from him. But that arm he got, Philip Short, is a banger. And I expect TC to surround next year's Jackson State team with nothing but speed. Speed, speed, speed. Some more commitments. Jaden, a.k.a. Jay Hamath, 6'6", wide receiver from Minneapolis, committed to Alcorn State, good route runner, ambidextrous, and a big target for Alcorn State. When I watch Alcorn State, they're very close to being really, really good. They show signs against Stephen F. Austin. What Alcorn State needs is just a little bit more pieces, a little bit more playmakers. I think they got the athletes. They're well coached. Also, I don't speak on new coaching hires, but for Alcorn State, if you have an offensive coordinator who is a bit of creative on a creative side and makes big plays in this conference, that can help your team out. That's just a suggestion. I'm just throwing it out there. Let me read some more of these comments. What's good, Cedric Walker? Top of the morning. We're in the A, baby. Yeah. I'll be on it all night. I'll be on it all day. Straight up pimping. You want me? You can find me in the A. Shout out to the ATL. Much love. Simply Beautiful says, go Tigers. See you in Atlanta. I heard caller on the other live just talking down about TC as if he knows him. That's when you know there are bandwagon fans and trolls. Yes, we need several good quarterbacks. Yeah, for the people hating on TC or the people that just let me keep it all the way real with y'all. You can tell who loves HBCUs for all of HBCUs, and you could tell for those that are only about the Jackson State, whether they're hating or liking Jackson State on the bandwagon. They talk about no other schools. They don't know anything about the conference. They're doing it for likes and clicks and to gain revenue on their channels. It's fake out there, and I understand exactly what you're talking about. It's just it's clout season. It's clout season. But I let y'all all know that if the Swac can continue to recruit like this, not afraid to get 3 stars, 4 stars, or try to get them, the conference we know as the Swac can be the number 1 conference in the FCS one day. Shout out to Jeffrey. He said Swac coaches have to develop quarterback position better. They got to recruit them better too. Trust me, they're trying to recruit them. Peace and blessings to my brother Lawrence. He says, I think HBCU understand how important it is to have a quarterback play. Would you personally have hired a coach TC? What would you consider success for TC for HBCU to go to the next level? They can't forget about the line. I think he meant offensive line on that. Success for TC Taylor is recruiting dominance. He's doing that so far. Above 500 record. Pretty much success for TC Taylor is competing for a SWAC championship for his first year. That's the first year. But his success is Jackson State alums and fan success. If he does well, it's great for the fans. And I think he's going to do well. The players respect him. He's going to put a great staff. I'm telling you right now, he's going to put a great staff. When you hear the names of the offense and defensive coordinators, just look out. Just wait. After the Celebration Bowl, you're going to see. That's all I'm going to say. This is why Ashley Robinson hired her. Ashley Robinson hired her, and this is what I feel. I feel that Ashley Robinson hired TC Taylor because he had a blueprint on the staff he's going to hire. Remember, TC got connections. He's very popular, a rising coach, likable guy. So after the Celebration Bowl, when you see the coordinators, and people that he's going to put on this staff, you're going to be like, wow, okay, I see why he was hired. And thank you for donating to the channel, my brother. Cedric Walker says, I'm on it. I'm on it. Purple Ribbon All-Stars. I want to say congratulations to Akil Glass for signing with the New Orleans Breakers of the USFL. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts and if he makes a name of himself and makes it to the NFL. He's very talented. He put up a lot of numbers. Can you imagine if Akil Glass's Alabama A&M team had a normal defense? I kid you not. All they needed was a normal offensive line and a normal defense surrounding Akil Glass when he was at Alabama State. And he still put up numbers. Man, that offensive line at Alabama A&M was so bad that Akil Glass was running around like the late, great Gregory Hines. Everywhere he looked, there was a defensive lineman in his face. And he kept up the pocket presence. He kept throwing them things, and that's why he was impressive. New Legacy says, Jackson State and FAMU pretty much set the bar on where the SWAC needs to go as talent is concerned. They need to keep going for 4- and 5-star recruits like PWIs. Yeah, keep doing it. And that's what you're seeing from SWAC schools. They're not afraid of offering 4- and 5 stars. They're not. They're going to keep doing it. But man, look at the names, man. And shout out to HBCU Premier Sports, man. He posts all this stuff, and man, the SWAC is just dog. It's just at another level right now. And just wait till signing day. I'm telling y'all, just wait until signing day. It's going to be on and popping. All these commits, man, and the MEAC's doing good too. Let's not frown on the MEAC. I know the MEAC got Nicholas Brown, who's a 6'3", 220 wide receiver. Like they always South Carolina State, they always getting those big receivers, man. But I had someone message me about, I think I said Keenan, but Cameron Evans, the 3-star quarterback that committed to Texas Southern. They was telling me, why would Texas Southern get another quarterback when they got injured body? I said, you can never have too many quarterbacks. If your quarterback goes down, you're gonna need a good backup. There were games where, I'm gonna give you an example. Jackson State, luckily, Shadir's shoulder held up just a bit, but it's really good to have a backup quarterback who knows the system, who's talented, where you don't really miss too much of a beat. A backup quarterback is a blessing in the SWAC. I tell you that. Because some SWAC teams, they don't want to hurt the feelings of quarterbacks, so they don't get a backup quarterback. And then when their starting quarterback is injured, then they look around and say, man, why we didn't get didn't get a backup? Why? That's what they're gonna say. And as for Southern, what I've seen from Southern, they've been getting a lot of big bodies. They want to control the trenches. I like the addition of Quentin Ross, 6'3", 300-pound offensive lineman from Garden City, Kansas. And there's some players that they had on visits. Joseph Hall, 6'5", 265, DN. Now he was on a visit, but if Southern can get him and many other players from JUCO, that's a good foundation. When I looked on Southern, I remember when I went to the Jackson State Southern game, I thought they needed some more size in the interior. So I know that the coaching staff of Southern are right on it. They saw what I saw because I remember I was talking to Coach Walker. I said, "Man, they just Southern needs some size." Now, last year's Southern team I thought was bigger. They had a couple players. They had a one player that went to the NFL. He's with the Chicago Bears. Let me know the name. I kind of forgot the name, but he was a beast. Uh, if you have a stout, big size offensive line and defensive line in the SWAC, that will take you places that you have never gone to complete with elite FCS teams. It's all in the trenches. You want to know why PWI Power Five schools and big time PWIs outmatch HBCUs? It's in the trenches. It's not the skill. It's in the trenches. When that's sheared up, man, look out. New Legacy says, like what you doing, brother? Much love. Have a blessed day. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I try to show love to everybody, man. I really do. Because it's not just about one HBCU school. It's about a lot of them. And we can't say we love HBCUs and just highlighting one. That just we gotta highlight them all, but also you got a ball. We can't leave that out. To perform at a high, to get recognition, you got a ball. But the transfer portal's open. I just saw that North Carolina A&T's linebacker, All-American linebacker Jacob Roberts has entered the portal. You're talking about a career 9.5 sacks, 5 interceptions, 218 tackles. This dude's a beast. And if he goes in the SWAC, he's going to reward the team. Ed, thank you for that. Ja'Tyre Carter. Yeah, he's doing a solid job with the Bears. And that was a perfect team for Carter to go to because the Bears' offensive line is horrible. Whoever is Ja'Tyre's agent did a great job, man. He probably told him, go to the Bears, man. They ain't got no offensive line. Lawrence, you see what I'm saying? Yep, line play is very important. That's what I want to see with especially with TC. What offense now he signed Shamar. That's a great start, but I cannot wait for the 2 signing days to see what this full offense and defensive line looks like for JSU. Man, JSU been getting some good 3 stars. I'm getting here's another one. Athlete Michael Williams Jr. from Natchez, Mississippi. And I know them Southern Miss fans thought they were going to have him. They snatched them. JSU snatched them for Southern Miss. These are the recruiting battles I'm talking about. But if you listen to Ashawn, shout out to Coach Simmons, man. Subscribe to his channel. He said, man, you live this morning? Yeah. I want to talk to the family, man. Yeah, it's Friday. It's Friday. You got to let. I felt good this morning, and I wanted to talk about some of these signings, man. I mean, not signings because they haven't signed yet, but these commitments. Man, they pouring on. There's so many commitments right now that you have to wait till to signing day to get the full layout. But back to the recent commitment of Jackson State, Michael Williams Jr. 6 foot, 180, athlete, can play corner, can play wide receiver. Pretty much whatever position that JSU has of need, he's going to play it. Super athletic. A lot of teams wanted him. And Recruiting's about relationships. These kids appreciate TC, not only the man but the coach. Um, when these recruits talk to TC Taylor, and when other recruits talk to Fred McNair, and when recruits talk to Coach Hugh Jackson, and when Coach talks to Willie Simmons, and many more. I don't want to leave out any coaches, but I have all day. When they talk to them, they know they're not being fed bullshit. They know it's real and trill. They know exactly what they're getting when these coaches talk to them. Lauren says, winning is the best deodorant. Low key, the transfer portal is the best thing that happened to HBCU. It's just a matter of HBCU shift through the talent and pick wisely. Yeah, and I'm not trying to pile on the Alabama A&M. I hope they do well. But what Alabama A&M failed in, and I let y'all know last season, I said it's never good to overdo the portal because you need high school talent to build the culture of a team. Because high school talent has 4 years available. They have 4 years or 5 or more years available. So that's important. Last year, Alabama A&M, I believe, had the record amount of transfer additions. I think it was in the 30s. Correct me if I'm wrong, 32 or 35. That's way too damn much. That's way too much. You can't win that way. You gotta have a balanced approach. But man, I mentioned earlier about Seven McGee. I cannot wait till he's on the roster. And I saw some recruiting sites were moved him to a 3-star. I was like, wait a minute, he had an 85 overall grade, which is a high 4-star when he was recruited to Oregon and everything. And now some sites say 3-star. That's why it's a bullshit. Every time a high school player commits to a HBCU that's ranked and ranked pretty good, their ranking gets dropped. I'm starting to notice that more. I'm keeping up with all the recruiting. So when I saw a 3-star by Seven McGee, I said, wait a minute, that doesn't make no damn sense. When you watch his film, he doesn't look like a 3-star. That's 4-star talent. Running close to 4.3, high vertical jump, acceleration, kind of plays like DeAnthony Thomas. Does that sound like a 3-star to you? Let me know in the channel, in the chat. Yeah, hit the like button. We having that real discussion, man. We ain't and I hope they don't do that to the Alcorn commits as well. Don't take their stars away because they're trying to change the game. And I get what they're trying to do, and no one's going to talk about this. They're trying to suppress the momentum of HBCUs. They're trying to do that, man. They're trying to take away the popularity of HBCUs. And they believe they put intimidation by taking a star rating. But I got my message to all athletes. If you're committing to a HBCU, don't worry about the rating. They're going to try to tinker with it because of jealousy. Just stick to the mission. That's all I got to say. But I think it's a bunch of crud that they're doing that. And again, you can't say that Seven McGee is not that dude. You put him as a 3-star. Just watch what TC Taylor does with him on offense. And we're going to go back and let y'all know why he was a 4-star, a high 4-star at that. So Kimmy says he's a 3-star prospect because he didn't play last year. Come on, man. No, that's not right. That doesn't make any sense. Respectfully. because there were a lot of recruits that went to other schools that didn't play the last year as well, and they were still a 4-star. What about the Texas A&M recruits? Like Coach Simmons said, what about the Texas A&M recruits that's in the portal right now that didn't play a lick last year? They were still 4-stars, and some of them were still 5-stars. So it does not change. V. Carter says 100. Coach Simmons says Texas A&M not paying those NIL deals. See, this is why I love the NIL, because the players can maximize their growth potential and money. But my advice to athletes, please choose a school, man. Please choose a school. You're going to make a name. If you know how to operate Instagram, if you know how to operate YouTube, you can make income out of your name. All you need is a team behind you. But don't accept any deal unless there's concrete writing. Don't do it. Because now you're hearing stories of players not getting their NIL deals. And now they're saying, man, they promised me this, but I didn't get that. This is the reason why you got to vet these teams out, man. And let me bring up another commitment. Kobe Mendez, 3-star wide receiver from IMG Academy. So you know he's played against top-notch competition, committed to Alcorn State. And, you know, good run after catch, yak guy, will fit into this Alcorn State offense to a T. Then, you know, they like to run RPOs. Man, I want to say Coach McNair is really proving a lot of people wrong that said that he can't recruit. He only settles for mediocre talent. I heard all the bull crap. Coach McNair is one of the most respected coaches at HBCUs, and I'll say it once, I say it again. Alcorn State is an offensive coordinator away of really turning that thing around. They have talent. They may need more talent in some positions, but they have enough talent to get enough wins. They're getting transfer portal visits as well. Transfer Wayne Dennis Jr., that played at Northwestern, had production there. He visited Alcorn State. He may commit to them. We'll see what happens. But these are what I'm talking about. The SWAC teams are not waiting around trying to be mediocre. They're trying to have the opportunity right now. They're trying to have that opportunity right now to grow their team to be elite and dominant. Coach Sean Kent says, it's nice to see the momentum still strong in the SWAC. Love from Toronto, Canada. Yeah, man. It's good to see growth. It's really good to see growth, man. And there's a lot of good coaches in the SWAC. They just need some talent, especially in the interior, especially in the offensive line. And I did a video a couple of days ago. And speaking of interior, Grambling State got the message. Man, Grambling State recruited Jonathan Douglas, 6'3", 350 pounds. I made this video on December 9th. And when I tell you that Coach Hugh Jackson gets the memo of the trench play, he gets it. Like Jonathan Douglas, when I watch his film, when he has his hands on you, you cannot go anywhere. He's the definition of a run stuffer. Because even though a lot of teams in the SWAC like to pass, we all know it. When you stop that run and make a SWAC team one-dimensional, it's going to cause problems. Yeah, don't forget to share the stream, man. This is a celebration of all Swac teams right now, showing them love. Let me read some more of these comments. Kimmy says, Denver Harris from Texas A&M was a 5-star coming out last year, but he's a 4-star prospect. With Denver Harris, well, with transfer rankings, you rarely see anybody a 5-star. Let's call it what it is. Let me read my brother. Shout out to Stony Stout. He called it out. He said, it's not jealousy, it's racism. Peace and blessings to you, brother. And he just let it be known. DJ Love said, what's happening, DJ? It's all good. Talk about Swac recruiting. It's at a high level right now, man. It is at a high level. This train don't stop for no one. Oh, to the recruits out there, if you have some HBCU offers, don't try to drag it too long now. Now, I'm not telling you to rush your commitment, but for those who are saying, oh, let me think about it, let me take those visits. No, don't waste these coaches' time. Because if you don't want to join a HBCU or you want to delay it, they'll find somebody else. I'm letting y'all know. Shout out to Timona. Peace and blessings to you, man. Yeah, she be she be on it on Twitter, man. I like reading her posts. Coach Simmons says, focus on high school students, build, and transfers will come. Yep. And don't forget the high school students, they're going to look, see, they're not dumb. They're seeing who is recruiting high school talent and putting an emphasis on it and who's not. And today's kids, they take things personal. If you're always in the portal, the high school kid is going to be like, wait a minute. They took away a scholarship from my homeboy. They passed on my homeboy for a transfer portal person. I'm not going to that school. I'm telling you, these kids take things personal. They're not like yesterday's kids when they just forgiving and no. They watch everything. So don't ruin the relationship. I'm talking about the coaches. Don't ruin the relationship with high school talent because you're addicted to the portal. The portal, and shout out to Joshua Sims because he talked about it. He said the portal should be only meant for establishing depth with your team. And you would like to find a gem in the portal, like a quarterback or something. I always say the key starters you would like to get in the portal is quarterback and 2 left tackles. The quarterback to be the face of your team and the left tackles for maximal pass protection. And I throw in a shutdown corner. You always got to get one of those. Those are rare. But stop building your team in only the portal. She Loves Z says, when a portal jumping like that, if you're in high school, better hurry up and commit. Let them know. If you think Coach T.C. Taylor, Fred McNair, Coach Hugh Jackson, Willie Simmons, and many others, if you think that they're going to wait and you tell these coaches, you know, I think about it. Let me take a few visits. I'm going to commit on the second day of on signing day. They're not going to wait that long, my brothers. Because like Sheila D pointed out, the portal is on fire right now. And the kids in the portal are hitting up coaches, especially HBCUs, and say, hey, I played in the FBS. I'll be thankful. I've been in the portal for a whole year. I'll be thankful to get a scholarship. Do you have any scholarships available, man? I promise I'll play hard. I'll be a good student at your institution, represented well. And you know what that coach is going to do? They're going to look at the field. They're going to say, you know what? Since I got this high school player just playing possum and taking too many visits, I'm going to give the scholarship to the kid that lost their scholarship or just in the portal for a new direction. I'm going to give him a scholarship. I'm telling you, that's how the game goes. And parents, you got to speak to your kids, man. Stop trying to be the Hollywood access to your kids and making their ego go high because you're not keeping it real about the recruiting process. When my younger brother was on a recruiting trip, this had to be like 2012, 13, my father said, son, we're going to talk about your top three. We're not going to do all these visits because I don't want you to waste these coaches' time. My father, when he was alive, said that to my brother. That's why he didn't take a million recruiting trips. All you need is 3 to 5 recruiting trips. You don't need 10 or 12. You don't need all that. And that's what I remember. He always told my brother, don't waste these coaches' time. Because if you start lagging around, they're going to give that scholarship to somebody else. Let me read some more of these comments, man. Y'all on fire today. Let's get the likes up to 120 likes, family. And plus, share this video. LBE Lawrence RBE says, what happens to the students who are stuck in the transfer portal? Man, my advice for HBCUs, it doesn't matter if it's D2. Reach out to them. Reach out to them. And to the kids who've been stuck in the transfer portal for a year, it's better playing somewhere than nowhere. So whether if it's D2 or D3 or FCS, you can't be a diva in the portal and you're stuck there. Some people who are stuck in the portal, they're waiting for that D1 offer. So they stand in there. Like Coach Simmons says, if you don't, you got to go JUCO then. Right, JUCO or home. You got to soak that pride up, man. JUCO or home. You got no other option. Stop acting like you got that 5-star mentality when you stuck in the portal and no one has picked you up. You either need to go to JUCO, soak that pride up, go home, or reach out to a D2 team. They will love to take, man, if you go to, man, if you talk to I'm going to give an example, like St. Benedict's, which is a talented HBCU in Division II. If you're a D1 talent and you reach out to them, you think they won't take you? As long as you ain't in trouble, of course. They're stuck in the portal because of ego. Because in the portal, the kids write preferred destinations, and then the coaches who see the preferred destinations reach out to them. That's how the portal works. A lot of them are not asking to go to JUCOs. A lot of them are not asking to go to D2 because of ego. V. Carter says, great advice from your dad, Gabe. Yeah, man. I miss my pops, man, to this day. The advice he gave not only me, but my brothers. When he told my younger brother that I don't need you taking all these visits. You need to keep it to 3. You know, wait, because my dad has been around football. He's been around sports, and you know how these coaches are, man. But you know how kids are. They want to go to these visits and have fun and turn up. I get it, but you got to, today's football, you can't waste time because that portal is kind of, yeah. Coach Simmons, he says, I know a kid who had an offer from Morgan State last year. He waited and the coach was fired and he had a walk on at SFA. See, these are the things that people are not talking about. Don't let your ego stop your blessing. She Loves Z says, I think schools who are pointed towards the portal need to immediate development versus high school coaches are expected to produce immediately or within 2 years. Good point. She also says Texas A&M did mostly high school commits and it was a disaster, the highest recruiting class ever. And as soon as the portal opened, everyone jumped in it. Man, and to add on to that, She Loves Z, what Texas A&M did wrong in recruiting is they didn't recruit enough 3-stars. Now people are gonna say, DJ, what do you mean not enough 3-stars? Here's what I'm telling you. There's a lot of Texas kids that they would love to have a Texas A&M offer, even if they redshirted, because that was their dream school. I'm not saying stop getting 5-stars. Get the 5-stars you need of positions of need majorly, and get 3-stars for depth. Now, I'm not going to say you're going to always keep the talent because of transfer portal, but it helps when you just get nothing but 5-stars. That diva personality, I knew that wasn't going to work. That's too many 5-stars on one team. I'm sure there was button heads, man. I'm sure there was a lot of stuff that went on with Texas A&M. Can you imagine there's 2 players in the same position, both are 5-stars, and the other 5-star plays in front of the current 5-star in the same class? You think he's going to take that and be okay with it? Riding the bench? Heck no. You got to have a balanced class. You got to have a little bit of everything. You got to have a little bit of high school, a little bit of transfer portal, a little bit of JUCO. That's how you do it. Look at the teams with the least amount of transfer players. They're doing it right. The good thing about the transfer portal, if you get one of those athletes who've been stuck in a portal for a while, they're not going to leave the portal again. Get them kids. The ones that got talent, but they've been stuck in a portal for almost a year, 2 months. Man, they are not going to be back in the portal because they knew that it was a horrible idea. Shout out to Doc. He said the Doc is in the building. HBCU Overdrive, man. Subscribe to his channel. Let's get him to 1,000 subs, man. One of the good brothers in HBCUs. He talks about all HBCUs. Los J says they recruited a lot of assholes at Texas. Come on, man. I don't know them kids personally, but I get what you're saying. We knew one kid would not last because of this being selfish. Now, I'm not going to call them that because I don't know them personally, but there were a lot, like I said, a lot of divas. I knew it wasn't going to work out from the moment I saw it. Yeah, let me get you on, Doc. Let me give you the link. All right, I just sent the link out to Doc. Oh, you saw that too, huh? Jay says video out there saying Texas A&M was not paying the players. Yeah, I saw that too. But y'all want to get on HBCUs. I'm telling y'all, man, y'all got to go to a school that appreciates your not only your talent, um, but appreciates the culture, appreciate the academics, appreciate being surrounded. When you go to HBCU, you go to a place that someone that looks like you, your professors look like you, the sisters look like you. They understand your journey. They understand what it is to be a black man or a woman, depending on the athlete. They could resonate with that. You get that nowhere else. Man, what's good, Doc? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm good. I can hear you, man.
Yeah, man. Man, the Swac is doing it, brother.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you just like this. Yeah,
Right.
I give it up for, you know what I'm saying. Like I said, Coach Taylor and you know what I'm saying, Coach McNair
Uh-huh.
and Coach Jackson to get not just to go just into the transfer portal to get players, but to revitalize recruiting the state. Like you know, we didn't. Jackson State really didn't recruit the state like we normally do during Coach Prime's season. You know, when he was there,
No one talked about
because nobody, yeah, like we didn't recruit the state of Mississippi like we normally do because of the simple fact that he wanted, you know, you got to jumpstart the program back up, and I understood where he was coming from, but now, you got like TC got his kid, like his players in place that he wants to sign, and then we don't know, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what we got going on for the national signing day in February. So that's another lookout right there. So I will do if I'm doing a team, I will do like 35%. Like no, I'll do 30% transfer portal, another let's say another 35% JUCO, and 35% high school, because you have to be able to develop these high school players, and these high school players is not getting a chance because of the simple fact that everybody's jumping into the, so everybody's going into the transfer portal to get these kids out of the transfer portal, and they not even looking at in some countries not even looking at the kids that's in the portal that's been in the portal for a year or two, and that's where you see bad bad um advice given to a kid that's
right.
going into the portal. Like if you got so with me, so this my whole thing. I guess you could say it's old school, but a kid who, you know what I'm saying, that was on the D1, that was on the FBS level. Let's say they got some playing time, but um, they got playing time, but they want to be close to home, right? Most of the time, kids would go back then. Kids would go to the JUCO range, so they won't lose that. You know what I'm saying? They won't lose that year eligibility, and then they jump to like back to another FBS program or to an FCS program. Um, I'm to the point where you might have to go that route, or you have to swallow your pride. You're gonna have to swallow your pride and probably take that D2, D3 route, NAIA route, because it's a lot of programs in those ranks, and they are looking for players that's, what I'm saying, wanting to play and wanting to be a part of that system. Um, but these kids getting these bad advices from parents and from their homeboys and all these other people, and not really going and talking to like the coaches. I mean, if they getting, and the coaches like sitting down with him and his parents and telling him what's the best, what I'm saying, what's the right and best move for you.
Yeah, they're trying to be not all parents, but a lot of parents are trying to be their kids' friends. And with my brother, and I told you my brother, he's a D1 athlete. My father, when he was alive, would tell him, "You only have 3 visits. We're not trying to do all these visits and stuff. Let's not waste these
Yeah,
coaches' time." Because
yeah,
he know how these coaches roll. My father was an athlete at one time, and
right,
they could move on and take the scholarship away. You can't keep delaying things if you're a recruit. Let me read this real quick. Stony Stout says, I bet TC have a few gems already on a team that didn't get a chance to shine when Prime was there. I believe so too, brother. This is what they don't talk
yeah.
about. Quay Davis, who we all know is super talented, he will play more.
He
I,
needs to stay. He needs to stay at Jackson. He don't need to enter the portal. He needs to stay
oh,
right there in Jackson.
you're going to get all the playing time you need with Coach TC Taylor. Uh, Trevante Rucker, who barely played, he will be getting to play more. If you did not play as much, and you have, especially if you have talent, didn't play that much, you need to be, you need to stay on that team. You got to be smart. We got Coach Simmons in the building. What's good, brother? We got an all-star lineup today.
What up, Coach?
What's going on, man? How to get you this morning?
Yeah, man. So, what you think about this topic, my brother?
Oh man, it's weird, man. Because see, the thing is, I see a lot of high school kids over here in Austin, man, that want to go HBCU. They really want to, but because of the portal and because
They can't.
of HBCUs being scared to come over here and recruit these kids, they end up just going JUCO or they go D3 or they just don't go at all. And I think it's crazy, man. You got all this talent over here in this area, man, especially black talent on east side of Austin, and these kids do not get offers, man.
Eastside Austin. That's what LBJ, right?
Yeah, LBJ, Reagan, or East Side Memorial, whatever we call it now, college prep, early college prep.
Yeah, they got
Uh,
athletes out there.
Mena, hell, Pflugerville. Man, these kids, I talk to them on a regular, and they all want to go HBCU, even before Coach Prime was there. Because their parents went to Prairie View, the Texas Southern, the Grambling, but they ain't getting no offers, man. So it's like how do we get the HBCUs to understand you have 3-star, 4-star talent that's not being recruited, and y'all too scared to shoot your shot?
Well, I guess TC wasn't too scared to shoot his shots too. He done wrapped
Oh,
up.
TC different.
Boy,
Yeah, he gonna get that high school talent.
yeah. TC. I mean, even with getting high school talent, it's just the fact that man, he just going out there. He asked like, "Look, I want you to be a part of this team, and we gonna, what I'm saying, we gonna do something that ain't nobody ever done."
And just like Lost J said, LBJ is loaded.
Yeah, they are.
Last year they had 11 kids get scholarships.
They
11.
won the championship game last year too, wasn't they?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
See, I remember that. See,
And this year,
that,
you're right. This year they have two. TSU has 2 kids, but they have other kids who will both be offered. They're just waiting for HBCUs, man. A lot of them DM Hugh Jackson on Twitter, or they DM some of the coaches. Never get back to them.
Well, for Hugh Jackson, in his defense, I think his pipeline is California.
yep.
So he would give a player a chance from California. Maybe he's just bringing in so many California talent. I'm not trying to make excuses, but maybe that's the reason why. Like he's got his number. Like all these coaches got a number of how many players they want to take in from high school.
True.
So Hugh Jackson is probably thinking, "Oh, I have a set number of high school players, and we're going to go and get that talent, and then the Louisiana talent is first because they're in that state." The reason why Hugh Jackson is doing that, because high school players, and I have some that follow me, they love what Grambling State's doing. That don't be surprised if a 4-star comes to Grambling that's from California. Oh, my friends go there, or they recruit in California tough. That's likely going to happen. But I still.
Look at.
Oh, sorry about that.
No. Look at them Bordeaux boys. Look at Tyson. Tyson about to try to get all his brothers to Grambling.
Yeah.
Hey, Justin, my son go to McCallum High School, so yeah, I know about McCallum. Trust me. They got talent out there too. It's just we got to find a different way for these kids to link up with these coaches, man.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna get back. Let's get back on that Texas A&M deal.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh, wait. One more thing. Simply Beautiful says, do the kids have tape? I believe they send these coaches tape all the time. Coach Simmons could attest to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sending the tapes out.
If not, they'll reach out to us and say, hey, can you do a video for me, please, to get this out there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I get that all the time, man.
Yeah, let's go to the Texas A&M topic. HBCU Overdrive. Doc, you started off with that.
So my whole thing about A&M, and I see what I read what Timona said. It is crazy because you picked all these players, and you literally picked them from random spots. You know what I'm saying? Like Evan Stewart, Shamar, Shamar Stewart. What's another guy? I forgot some other guys that committed. I knew, and I remember they. Yeah, because Coach Prime was looking at him too while he was at Jackson. So many personalities, so many 5-stars on the team, so many personalities on the team, and they couldn't do right. If they didn't pay these players the NIL deal, A&M's in the wrong. They in the wrong. And I have no qualms, no beef with these kids entering the portal. If they was promised something by the school and the school reneged on their promise, then I don't see them. I don't see a problem with them going somewhere else.
If you look, go ahead.
And then with Coach Jimbo, he's one of the worst coaches in all of college football, but he still got a damn bag.
Well, he's outdated. That's the problem with Jimbo. Jimbo won't evolve his offense, so that's why Texas A&M suffering. But back to recruiting, there's too many 5-stars in the same position. One thing I learned about football, if you got too many elite players in the same position, they're going to transfer out. Let me give you an example. Walter Nolan, D lineman, number 1 D line in the country. He's a 5-star. Yep. Shamar Stewart, D lineman, 5-star. And then another 5-star D lineman, L.T. Overton from Alpharetta, Georgia, 5-star. And then Gabriel Dindley, 5-star D lineman. So what did that tell you? Someone's going to transfer. That's why they got 22 transfers right now. If you're going to get 5-star talent, you got to balance it. That's why it's not a bad idea when you get a 3-star that you'll likely redshirt, because they just want, most of them, not all of them, not all the time, most of them, they love the school so much and they probably didn't think they would get an A&M offer that they just tell themselves, okay, I'll redshirt, I won't transfer. I'll try to improve.
But then you also got some of these kids in the high school ranks. Let's say, for example, Anthony Hill Jr. He was committed to Texas A&M. He was a hard commit to Texas A&M.
Oh yeah.
And then he seen the writing on the wall with all those kids transferring, and he switched it up. He's like, man, forget that. I'm going to Texas. He committed to Texas yesterday.
Yep.
And look how Texas, and I grew up an Oklahoma fan, so I'm gonna be real when I see this. I gotta give Texas props because Texas has 3 5-stars, right? But they getting some 4 stars here, some 3 stars here. They have the number 3 class. That's a balance. That we call it transfer proof class. Now I'm not saying no one will transfer out, but they have a chance to have a low number of transfer portals because they're not just stocking it with 5-star talent. When you have the number 1 in these days, when you have the number 1 recruiting class ever, that's impossible to have. I knew this was going to happen to A&M. And this is affecting their 2023 recruiting class.
Well, also you got to think about with A&M, man, was the fact that most of the guys that they were paying money to were the ones who were considering HBCUs. You'll see it on their top 5 or top 4, a FAMU, or Grambling, or Jackson State, or Alcorn, and all of a sudden they go to A&M. So I think A&M saw the writing on the wall. If 2 of those kids went HBCU route, if somebody besides Jackson State got a 5-star, that would have been the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're right.
Because imagine this, man. If FAMU or Grambling got a 5-star to go with Travis Hunter, that would have been the writing on the wall that, hey, we can come back home. We can get all these kids to HBCUs, and the money don't make no difference at Texas A&M. But now that them boosters are seeing them kids not winning and stopping to pay those kids, it's up to Coach McNair, Jackson, and Willie Simmons to go out there and try again.
Mm-hmm.
Because now they can say, hey, look, are you sure they're going to pay you?
Yep.
I mean, 22 players in the portal. If you look at Alabama, Alabama has 1 receiver from the class of 2021. 1 receiver from 3 years ago left on their roster. All of them transferred out. It's things they ain't telling you, man. They'll tell you, we'll pay you once you get here. But if you ain't playing like they want you to, battling like they want you to, they ain't paying you nothing, man.
Yeah, that's the thing about that NIL. And to me, I feel like, in a sense, a school shouldn't use like they boosters to say, yeah, just come to the school, we'll pay you. Like, give them an actual NIL deal.
Mm-hmm.
Give them an actual, you know what I'm saying? Give them an actual deal where they could sign on the dotted line, but in the stipulations of the NIL deal, like let's say they have to stay at the school for X amount of years in order for, you know what I'm saying, to order for you to get paid. Because I'm like this, a 18, 19-year-old kid getting a meal, a half a meal before they even sniff the field, nah. Nah, I can't even do it, bro.
They not.
Yeah.
On the NIL for A&M, they got to sign an NDA. So the NILs for A&M, if you accept it, you can't enter the portal unless they start paying you for 2 years. They got to break the contract.
So you said the kid got to break the contract?
No, the boosters got to break the contract. The boost, yeah, because if you look at who was it? You in Dallas, right?
Yep.
So you know SMU has that pony thing they have, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's different what A&M got. SMU's is from all the alumni, give them like $3 or $4 a month, something like that. And the boost up their NIL. A&M's is from 1 or 2 boosters that put the money up. And these kids are on fake, how I put this nicely without getting my man dinged over here.
Yeah.
They just getting paid. Put it like that. They just getting paid. They're not doing anything for their name, image, and likeness. But they gave them a NDA, which say, hey, you can't leave for 2 years unless we stop paying you.
Well, that's whew.
Which is why 22 of them are in the portal right now. They stopped getting paid.
Let's keep it real about the NCAA, and I'm going to be calculated when I say this, brothers and sisters that are listening. The NCAA, the reason why they're cool with NILs, quote unquote, because they rather have that than them paying out of their own pocket. See, that's why they're excited about the NIL. Because remember, there were some Northwestern athletes, I think 2014, 13, one of those years.
Yeah, they sued.
They sued the NCAA. Because if they would have won that trial, the NCAA would have had to pay players out of pocket, whatever distribution deal, it didn't matter. And it would have changed the whole game from it. Now we have the NIL, and they like the NIL, meaning the NCAA, because it's out of their hands. Plus, they know some schools are going to bullshit it around. The NCAA knows that some of these schools, these Power 5 schools especially, are not going to be to their word in paying players. They're going to do it. So, yeah.
I think one of the. Go ahead.
No.
I think one of the things that they weren't counting on was destroying. So, like, you have kids who not technically getting NILs, getting YouTube channels.
Yep.
They're making boatloads of money doing it that way. So it's saying you don't got to be at who is it, Texas or A&M. There's a kid over in Sacramento State that has a YouTube channel. He's making thousands of dollars a month. So it's like, hey, man,
$1,000 a month for a college athlete, and I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, that's just $1,000." That makes a difference.
Yep.
I mean, you could pay.
You got a scholarship, yeah. I mean, what's you paying for?
Exactly. I advise every athlete, especially if you're playing as well, make your YouTube channel. You'd be surprised how many people follow you because everybody wants inside access of a program, what you got going on. And I'm happy for it. I think the more athletes that do YouTube channels, it will take away some of these respectfully clout chasing channels that we start seeing. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, you look at like let's go on a thing like look at Travis Hunter. You know, see he got a YouTube channel and sure he got probably like 15, 20,000 people subscribed to his channel. Now you got a Shane Hooks got his own channel. Trayvon Riggins got his own channel. Shador got his own channel. Like you got all these kids at Jackson State got their own YouTube channel. They trying to get you know what I'm saying? They trying to get monetized and they getting their subscribers because you know who they name, and where they go to school at. So, like I would go. I mean, if I'm a kid, yeah, I would go that route too. Like especially if you're like a non-scholarship player. Like you don't got a scholarship, like you're a walk-on too. I'd be picking up my phone or getting a GoPro and start filming content as far as like what you do on a daily basis with practice, class, like just anything. You give the people, you know what I'm saying? To you the person, you give the people what they want.
Yeah, it's 100%, man. I mean, that's one of the goals. A lot of people don't understand how this works, but if you have your own content, you have your own 100% owned content.
Yep.
What are they gonna do to you, man? You control your own narrative. You control where you go.
Yep.
That's what these kids got to do.
You get to tell your own story, like you guys.
Yeah.
Tell your own story, and let's say they the coaches decide to give you a scholarship. Like you can, you know what I'm saying? You put that on your channel and shoot, people are gonna watch it because people are gonna be tuned in. They're gonna want to know if you're gonna get that scholarship or not.
100.
So like you know, that's one of the things that I like. You know, that's one thing I liked about Destroying because you know what I'm saying. He have a love and affinity for making videos and you know what I'm saying, and he stuck with it. Like even when the NCAA threatened to take his scholarship, like he literally stuck with it, and he didn't care if they did take his scholarship. It's not, but I'm saying, you know, I'm saying like he didn't make a lot of money at the first time when he, you know, lost the scholarship, but he stuck. You know what I'm saying? He stuck with it. He was persistent in the things that he did.
Right.
And look at him now. The man got like 4 or 5 million followers, and like that's true testament of perseverance and you know what I'm saying, knowing your worth. It's knowing your worth. That's all it is.
Exactly. Let me read this. Man, this has been a great stream, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. This is why you should subscribe to Coach Simmons, HBCU Overdrive as well. Doc Holiday, man. Brothers, man, we got to do this more often. Lawrence RBE says, to me, every college athlete should have a YouTube channel or social channel where it gets monetized. I agree. He said, I subscribe to Riggins. Trevor
Yep.
Riggins. I did as well.
Trayvon. Yeah.
Uh,
Trayvon.
I subscribe to Lance McGregor. He has some good stuff. David
Yep.
Stud still. I gotta find his. I'm gonna subscribe to any HBCU athlete who has a YouTube channel. I really believe in player empowerment and what Doc said about destroying. One thing I respect about him as well, you can tell he loves what he does. No matter if he got millions of followers, he loves creativity. He loves
Mm-hmm.
putting the spotlight on these kids. And if anyone hates on destroying, I don't know what to tell you, man. But again, a lot of people hate on success.
And the crazy and the thing about with him is like when he goes to these different high schools, these different cities, like he was in hell, he was here in Dallas about a couple weeks ago when Duncanville and DeSoto played each other.
Yeah.
And even though it was raining, it was cold, like it was, you know, he highlighted these kids that maybe haven't been highlighted by other, you know what I'm saying, other publications like Rivals or 247 Sports or on three or Match Preps, anything, you know, anybody like that. Like he highlighting these kids and these kids getting shine. And so basically when you highlight these kids are gonna go out there, they're gonna try to play their hardest because it's like, look, destroying here, man. If I play my ass off, you know what I'm saying? I might get, you know, somebody might look at this and see, try to get, you know, come visit me so I can get scholarship. Like that's an opportunity right there.
You know what was funny to me, man? I talked to Coach Walker about this the other day. He kind of yelled at me about it, but I'm bringing it up anyway, man. Well, what Destroying does, he goes to all these games, right? He highlights the game, like you said. There is nobody doing that for HBCUs. If you really think about it, there's nobody going to like going to Langston, going to Prairie View, going to hello, okay, yeah, going to Texas Southern, doing the same type of stuff, showing the game, showing the stuff live, and that's probably the next step, man. Because honestly, the kids can't do it from the sideline during the game. And the only school that was doing it was Jackson State. They had the pregame show and all that stuff. No one else did that. So when it comes like talking about marketing and branding, HBCU football has to see what the roadmap was, man. And they got to, if you have an ESPN contract or HBCU Go contract, it's fine. You also got YouTube. Use every avenue you can get to get more publicity out there, get your name out there. Maybe that's just me, man, but I think somebody has to, not somebody, the first one that does that is going to corner the market.
Yep.
No
Like
doubt.
you go, being here, like, okay, go to Austin. You in Austin. Houston Tillerson. They ain't got no football team, but they sure got a basketball team there.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to drag DJ over to the homecoming game too.
Oh yeah.
True. With me here and being in Dallas, so we only got Paul Quinn. That's our only black school here in Dallas. So they ain't got football, but they sure got basketball, and I'm gonna highlight them too for this year. Like things that we need to do. Like I said, most of these schools need to go ahead and reinvent themselves. We need to kind of get out of that old way of thinking, the old way, old practice. How we get put on, put on the map, put the spotlight on us and stuff like that. We need to get out of, we need to get out of that, like I said, that type of thinking, and just go about like, hey, these kids, because the invention of the camera phone and the technology being so advanced now with these phones, with these camera phones, just go out there and just start filming. Shoot, they ain't got to go film practice. Shit, they could go film walking on the yard.
Know the culture. There you go.
Know the culture. Like it's crazy because you see all the band YouTube channels like Killer Kev, Smash Time. You got Mint, you got Trinity, you got it's another one. It's marching band. You got all these videos of marching bands, and they is killing it. And you don't even have to sell your content. I just put it on, like, create your own. You got a channel, but I will try to create your own, like show, video. I mean, TV show or something like that, and send that shit to HBCU Go.
Man, you got to do something like to add on what you're saying, Doug. I ain't trying to cut you off. You sent some.
No, go ahead.
Like whether it's Jackson, Alcorn, Southern, Grambling, FAMU, either of those schools, if they do a day in a life, you don't have to do every day, but you can do a lot. You could break down clip. You can make a full day access video, break it down, and that would go for a week. The day in the life of TC Taylor, the day in the life of you can make a video that says in the spring, first spring practice with TC Taylor. You will get views. Jackson State's first spring practice with TC Taylor. Because the keywords are first practice Jackson State. First day of practice with Fred McNair, Alcorn State's head coach Fred McNair. You'll get some type of views. Titles, branding, consistency, it's all there. So you got to hire media specialists with GoPros. It's worth the investment. It's really worth the investment, man. It's doable. It's not difficult. Big LT says if Destroying would have went to the Jackson State Alcorn game, man, that would have been nice.
And honestly, man, be real with you. There's a website that's like LinkedIn for colleges, right? And social media creators for these FCS schools making like $15 an hour. So, I mean, if you look at it as a content creator, if you can offer them, like, hey, look, I can do this for you, and let me keep the profits from whatever, you keep the advertising, you'll make more money doing that than you would by them paying you.
Yeah.
And so I think these schools, it's hard for me to say this, man, because it's like the schools really don't want to get out there because they're scared of what else will get out. They're scared of the dirt behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the next step, man. If you look online, you look at the stuff that Colorado's doing. I hate to say it because I grew up in Kansas. We cannot stand Colorado or Nebraska. But
you ain't lying. I'm not. You know, growing up as a Sooner fan, I couldn't stand Colorado or Nebraska.
man, but with the thing that they're doing right now, it's so many people that jumped. I mean, they sprung their ankles jumping on Colorado. They're showing behind the scene. They're showing the campus. There's so many of these new content creators showing up.
Yeah.
HBCUs didn't do anything like that for 2 years. They did this stuff in under, 10 days? They losing their mind in 10 days, man. And we sitting here like, why haven't we did this in 2 years? It helps your recruiting out. If Alcorn State does have a YouTube channel, but if they have some of their players posting daily, their recruiting would go up dramatically because their visibility goes up dramatically.
So you already know Coach McNair is not he's not a real big fan of being, you know what I'm saying, being on air and being live and stuff like that. He, you know,
True.
Coach McNair low key, but he know what. To me, Coach McNair can transcend with the time. He could to me, he could transcend with the time because of the simple fact that you got kids now, and you know he got kids. Like, you know, social media is the wave. You know what I'm saying? The way to go. It's the wave. It's the end all be all. So I just feel like he knows that his kids can go out there and you know what I'm saying, do something real good with the social media and stuff. But yeah, like we do need more of a social media presence at these at our institutions because of the fact that nobody else is gonna go down and you know go down and try to film it and stuff like that. You know, other than HBCU game day, but they only select a few places, and Stephen Gaither, he's only one man, so he ain't doing it. He only doing with a few people. But you got to go to these places and like, look, we got to get this content. We have to get this content.
Kevin Oregon said it right, man. Black people use social media more than anybody else. It makes no sense for these schools not to be all over that. That's 100%.
Yeah, you're right, man. I'll delete that comment there because we are the culture.
I mean, go to YouTube, go to Twitter right now. and say something bad about Black Twitter. Go online and say Beyonce ain't good.
Boy, they cancel you in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I fought the Beehive before. I ain't doing that again, man. Trust me.
Don't do
how
that.
that go.
Shout out to H-Town's own Beyonce.
Man, look. That's the thing. It's free, man. You can't complain about the price because it's free, though. I mean,
yep.
And you only. I think also one of the biggest problems we got, man, is like a lot of these creators that are from HBCUs don't link their channels to their school. So you'll see people out there doing new dances, or they'll do the step shows, whatever, for homecoming, and it's not linked to the school. Now, by going to a PWI, when you sign up for your books, you sign up for your classes, you're also signing up and subscribing to the YouTube channel, subscribing to their social media network. So you automatically gonna be one of them subscribers. And HBCUs is not. There's a disconnect between us and social media, man, which I don't get. I do not understand one bit.
No doubt, man. We got the man. This has been a great morning. We got Monty in the building. How you doing, my brother?
What up, though?
What up?
Hey, I'm glad you guys having this conversation, because what this shows is, when we have the old regime, the old guard who doesn't, black folks, we don't never want to, accept change. And when you really think about what Dion did, I mean, there's only one Dion, but what Dion did when he came into the Swac, the same thing he's doing in Colorado was his social media game was off the chain. Now, Dion is 55 years old, and social media wasn't even out when he played. But what did he do? He handed it over to Deion Sanders Jr., who, that brother, in 2 weeks, then went from 60,000 subscribers to, I think he's almost at about 200 right now when I last checked.
Yep.
And so this is something that's free, but what it takes is it takes some of these old heads to get one of these young students at these HBCUs. I mean, we all over, as black folks, we build every platform. Clubhouse, when that came out, black folks went and built that up. We build up TV networks, we build up social media networks. And I think what you just saw was a lot of those coaches, a lot of those schools, instead of just letting a young person come in and do it. If you don't understand it, I get it, but let them do it, because this is their era, this is their level, and let them take care of it for you. And all you're going to do is benefit from it. That's what Dion did.
And then the whole thing too, Monty. If you got somebody that at your school that's real good with social media, that's real good with making content, use them as an intern. Say this is going to be an internship for you. Especially if it's like part of their field, like let's just say broadcast journalism or like marketing. You know what I'm saying? Mass media. Yeah. So use it like that. Use them, as an intern. I say use them, but give them as an intern, and then.
But here's the thing: if they're good, you don't have to use them as an intern. You can pay them, because they're gonna bring in the money. Everybody on YouTube with certain amount of subscribers is making money. Now the goal is to get 1 million subs. But once you start getting 5, 10, 50,000 subscribers, like I think about Deion Sanders Jr. social media from where it started to where it is, because I'm in IT, so I pay attention to stuff that people are not looking at. He has a $2.99, a $6.99, and a $24.99. So my math just tells me, in the amount of subscribers that he's jumped to, which is probably all the folks in Boulder, Colorado, they're going to jump on, and let's just say if he got 50,000 of those people, because his numbers have tripled, and they're giving him $2.99 a month. Somebody tell me what that math is, because I done looked it up. $2.99 at 50,000 on the minimum.
That's over $100. That's over $100,000 right there.
A month, not a year. That's a month.
But you also got to remember, when he signed with Colorado, he got a $200,000 a year contract. So the difference between what's going on with Jackson State and what went on with Colorado, he's not keeping that money at Colorado. That's going to the school.
Who's not keeping the money?
Deion Jr.
Deion Jr. When he signed with Colorado, he signed on that as an employee in Colorado. He's getting $200,000 a year contract. That's what he's making. Well, that's what I heard. He's making. Yeah.
Okay, so but that's on theirs. But his YouTube channel is his exclusive content. That's why he got not only his inside coverage, the way he did with Jackson State, he got his music and stuff over there. That's his money.
But do you think they're gonna allow him to keep profiting off of the content from the school?
It's a public university. I mean, they're not about to stop it because not only
stop it though.
Yeah, they can't because it's almost like you going out and you shooting something with your camera.
Mm-hmm.
You shooting a scene or whatever. You know, it's a public university, and so he has behind the scenes access. They also have their own media. That's why when you go back and you watch the night when Deion flew in and he was recording his father and got it out, that's how the whole I'm bringing my luggage and Louis got out.
Well, the reason why we cut you off, man. But the reason why I say that is because the reason why when Auburn hired Hugh Freeze, one of the main things they said was the sticking problem they had with Hugh Freeze at first was he wouldn't give up his social media. And in order for him to sign with Auburn, he had to give up his social media. So that may have been one of the biggest catch-ups with Prime and Auburn. I'm not sure. Like I said, I've heard about the contract where he's getting paid from Colorado. I'm not sure he's giving up the finance from the YouTube channel.
No, I mean, because he's already had that, and if there's anything that's by institution, they're gonna have their name. So here's what happens. Normally, let's say you got hired and you working for ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
ESPN would normally create a social media name, and they're using your image. It's almost like an NIL. They're using your image and likeness and everything, and that's why when you go to do something on your social media, ESPN has really set it up for you as an employee. That's why a lot of their social media usually have the company name in it. Now they pretty much is owning that and utilizing you as an employee of them. But when you have your own before, because as Colorado, you got my dad. That's Deion Sanders Sr.
True.
I'm junior and running my own. You know, he's basically running his own media company, and he's getting the best of both worlds because he's gonna be covering their stuff as well as he's gonna cover other stuff. But then their own Colorado social media has increased as well since Deion coming on. So everybody is winning.
No doubt. And man, let's keep the conversation going. I'm glad you're here, brother Stephen Campbell. Mr. Campbell, he says the bigger question: are they going to allow everything? He quote on everything to be shown. Those white folks are not going to let their dirty laundry get out, unlike what is happening with JSU. Interesting. What do y'all think about that?
You know what? I'll be 100 with you on that, Mr. Campbell. Excuse me. It's funny how YouTube's algorithm works, right? So the second he went up to Colorado, the things are popping up on YouTube about how they had the riots and the people up in Boulder, the college kids were getting threatened by the Mexican mafia. And that was happening in August. How they were basically scaring the kids from going outside. They were scared to leave their dorm rooms. That part, unless you follow the Colorado news station, you ain't gonna find that nowhere else. You can YouTube, Google it right now. It'll pop up, but it will be nowhere near Colorado's information for their school. At Jackson, anything got out, man. I mean, we've heard about the water, we heard about the roads, we heard about everything. So I'm not sure if their social media is a little bit more advanced than the HBCUs, where they don't let everything bad get out. But if you look for it, it's there. But it's just not coming out through them.
Man, that's powerful, bro. The thing is, in our community, we like to show the negative in our community more times than not to sell destruction, to sell negativity. And I can assure you, in Colorado, they're going to do their damnedest to cover any news. If it's the most negative news around, they're going to do their best to prevent that. I believe that the Colorado media covering Dion and everything else will be a lot different than what it was with Jackson State. Uh, it's a game within the game, my brothers and sisters. You're going to start seeing that. Now, I'm not trying to complain about it, but I'm just telling you the honest truth how this game goes. Shout out to Hoop Jargon. He said it best: support Black media. Thank you for supporting the channel. Subscribe to Hoop Jargon Media Network. So, Monty, what do you think about Mr. Campbell's post right here?
Well, here's the thing. All news is always local. That's what has made social media become the beast that it is. Because when you think about even all of the cases that we've had national, from Trayvon Martin, none of those stories wouldn't have got out without social media. And I believe back when the Trayvon Martin thing happened, it was the Black news media, those that were on air that had syndicated shows, began talking about it. I mean, just like the sister who was just got murdered in Mexico by her so-called friends. That it's ironic. I was in Charlotte that week. I went out for the Nets and Hornets game, and then I heard about the story on social media because it wasn't being covered on local Charlotte news until social media got involved. So you can try to all bigger institutions would try to suppress, but media and newspapers and everything, they're in the business of trying to make money. So they're gonna cover the good and bad. Like, I'm here in Detroit, I'm up the street from University of Michigan, and Michigan tried suppressing. There was a case where one of their players got caught with a gun. Well, he wasn't committing a crime. He applied for his gun license and he hadn't got his license yet, and he got pulled over, and basically he got charged with that. Now what happened was he never went to jail. He got out, and he actually ended up playing in a big game that Michigan had a couple weeks ago. Well, our local media is on the story because University of Michigan is the premier program and how it didn't get out, but it eventually got out. And, so they're going to do, everybody's going to do that, but it's going to get out. And what happened in Jackson, those stories with the water and everything got out because not only what was going on with Jackson State, but you also had more people visiting the city of Jackson. So now whatever issues are will be magnified. And Colorado's going to experience the same thing. You already had, just on Comedy Hype, the comedian Mark Curry was just out in Colorado Springs and had a racial incident with an employee. So it's going to get out, but everybody's going to try to suppress the negative. That's just natural.
Yeah, well, I think it's like, who was it? Who Jargon said it best, man. All the negative stuff comes for us. What it is, I don't remember who said this, Rand, but people would rather go do 25 years in jail than get a 4-year degree. That's something that we got to fight as, man. It's we get more respect doing negative crap than we do doing something positive from our own people. And go ahead.
I see what Coach Mr. Campbell was talking about. He was talking about how UT tried to cover up the Chris Beard situation, calling it assault, where we know it was the domestic violence, and then basically it came out as domestic violence. That's the reason why he got suspended. He suspended for a minute. So, so most of it. I ain't saying that it's all on us. It's more disproportionately for coming from us, but it's out there. It's always gonna be bad press. It's always gonna be bad stuff out there, regardless of regardless of what's going on. It's always gonna be bad press. Like when people say that we, us YouTubers, you know what I'm saying, that we not media. Because most people, I'm gonna tell you like this: most people don't watch TV these days now. Like, look at it. Like, most people don't watch TV these days. They stream everything. They go to YouTube. They go to you know what I'm saying, any type of platform that has some sort of, you put some content out there. Like, they don't, just people just don't watch TV. So with us being in this realm, like, people are going to watch, more people are going to watch us because it's not coming from a negative, it's not coming from negativity. Because most news channels is more basically, it's more basically negative because they have a narrative to push out. Like, I don't.
So that's called bias. It's not negative. It's called bias.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Bias.
Bias.
Yeah. They have a bias, implicit bias.
So you see the bias, like, okay, like when you watch the news. So being here in Dallas, I watch
Fox News. Let's go with Fox News. Let's go with Fox News.
So Fox News. So they so let's go the Fox National News, okay?
Yeah.
So
right.
their whole thing is to be biased about the Democrats.
Exactly.
Their whole thing is to push out the Republican narrative. That's why you got people like Tucker Carlson, and you had people like Chris Wallace, even though Chris Wallace has a damn soul, but people like Tucker Carlson and Megan and what's a Megan? It was Megan Kelly. And then what's that? Lauren Ingram. All those people, they reported the negative about what the country is, about what the president ain't doing, about what your congressman not doing, about what your senator is not doing in your state, and they just try to paint this negative connotation on that, on them. Where you look at like let's say MSNBC. So you got Joy Reid, who I love, man. She dope as fuck. I don't care what anybody say. Because I like how she speak her mind, and she's not biased towards anything else. Like, she really speaks her mind. Like, even when she go, you follow her on Twitter, she don't care. Like, I mean, I know she cares about who her employer is, but I feel like she don't care because the simple fact that if it needs to be said, you know what I'm saying, it needs to be said, regardless of the fact. So, and I see, like, with, Kevin, he said, we do need to partner with each other. And that's the reason why a lot of us, we jump on each other's platforms. Because we try to help, you try to help the other person out. Like,
hey, Dog.
Yeah, go ahead.
Not to cut you off, brother. Can I add this on too? We got to do a better job. And I want y'all to listen closely. I want to say shout out to Mr. Campbell, man. Thank you for those kind words, man. These discussions must be had, and we're gonna do our best to keep that going. What we got to do, and I'm talking about all of us content creators, we got to show love to each content creator. Like, I shout out everyone that has a channel. And people say, why are you doing that when you're supposed to be boosting your channel? Because I see the bigger picture. See, if we have multiple channels and independent media, then we have a good product. Then we have something of our own community instead of depending on corporate media to tell our story and our message. This is why I big up HBCU Overdrive, Coach Simmons, Jamal Leader Sports Network, the Blitz City Podcast, Ken Clark 1400 Club, Tiger Talk the 1400 Club. I will say a bunch of names. It'll take me all day. But you get what I'm saying, man. We have to control our own narrative. It's so important for Black progression. Also, we have 140 plus people in here and 70 likes. Let's get the like button. It's free to 140 likes and share this video if you haven't.
DJ, I can give you an example of what you just said, man.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier this year, there was a thing going on with the Delaware State women's lacrosse team. They were driving down in Georgia, got pulled over by the sheriff's department. And on their bus, they searched them for marijuana, told them that they were bringing drugs in. That information went from the Delaware State lacrosse team's page. I think 2 YouTubers did a video on it. And then after about a month, that's when it finally got in the major news. Because the thing is, man, if we don't report our stuff our way, nobody will. It took them a month to catch on to that. So something that was already reported out here on YouTube, and they had already basically found the answer to the problem, reported every single video clip of it. Then TMZ shows up, and then the bigger platforms do. Who's this coach? Okay. But now what I'm saying is, you're right, man. We have to support. We got to support each other. We got to support the narrative of HBCUs, man, because it comes down to it, bottom line, HBCU culture is Black culture. If you really look at it, as long as HBCU's been around, most of the major things in Black history have come from HBCUs. And if nobody's going to tell us that, because while the CRT crap they're trying to stop right now in the South, if no one's going to tell us how we help ourselves out, we'll never know. And I'll let you take over from there.
So I want to push back on that just a little bit. One of the problems we have had within our HBCU culture is the HBCU culture is not always been open and welcoming to those that's not within the culture. See, like when we go, so, and I'm an HBCU guy. So, and I'm also a community guy. So I didn't left Detroit. I went to an HBCU, played in the band, did all that. And then I'm back in Detroit and still working in my community. And what happens is, just like the whole thing with Dion and Eddie Robinson Jr., he ain't Swac. See, he was sending a signal out of saying what a lot of them coaches was feeling because he came in. Now, at the same time, this guy came in and y'all selling out games that y'all have never had sellouts for in years, right? But when he said he is Swac, he ain't Swac, I knew what he was saying. He was saying you ain't one of us and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, this man came in and you can't deny the impact that he's made by just going to Jackson State, and then what Jackson State made across the board with all the teams that played them. Because whether you was going to beat them or not, if Jackson State was coming to your city, those games sold out. You know, it's the same way like when the Golden State Warriors went on that 72-73 win, every city they was going to, they were selling out with the local fans or even the fans that was traveling to be able to see them. But HBCU culture is not always acceptable to those who they feel that's not within HBCU, but that's what keeps us stagnated from growing because we don't want to let anybody in.
It's true. And that's more of the old guard. I mean, if you look at the way Coach Prime has done it now, or even not Coach Prime, the people who Ash Robinson has hired. You look at the Dooleys, you look at the Willie Simmons, the people like that. Those, they're more of an inclusive group. The ones who, go ahead.
But what? So I'm gonna give you credit for Ashley Robinson. We don't give enough credit, but Ashley Robinson is actually a young AD. I'm not sure. I would venture to say Ashley is probably the youngest AD in the SWAC.
I believe he is.
So 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 it took a younger guy he's in our generation, and he was the one. Look, I guarantee Ashley Robinson, when he went to Jackson State and told him I'm going after Deion Sanders, I'm sure that brother heard a lot of no's and this, that, and the other. And then it was like, well, hey, we go, all right, you want this so bad, because it was his neck on the line too. And then boom, it turned into something great, because you went from not winning nothing in a very long time and being relevant on the football scene to winning and going pretty much undefeated in the SWAC 2 years in a row. But he was a younger guy, but across the board, a lot of them ADs, and if you look at the coaching across the HBCU, a lot of those guys are way older coaching as well. So I think as we get some younger guys in and they kind of open it up, they'll take it to the next level. They'll be on the social media, because that's what these new players and these kids are all about. They're on social media. Deion is winning. He's winning in Colorado right now, where people said, people was already saying, oh, ain't nobody going to go to Colorado. No. He's getting exposure, and he's on social media.
Man, excellent take. We got to remember, when it comes to HBCU inclusion, as long as people are supporting the brand of all HBCUs and the betterment of it, I don't care if they went to a SWAC or not. That's just how I feel. And bringing in new fans is a great thing. That's what's going to push your brand. That's what's going to bring money, especially our own people who have never been to HBCUs. I'm tired. I'm gonna be honest. I'm tired of seeing people telling other Black folks or anybody, "Oh, you didn't go to the SWAC, you didn't go to MEAC. We don't care about your support." No. You're gonna need your support for the betterment of these conferences. Mr. Campbell said something really good. He said, "I've told Ken Clark, Swag Buzz, Scotty, off script, of course, and others guided to you need to create a hashtag HBCU Sports Day and line your shows up, dominate the conversation for a whole day on the day." That's a great idea. What y'all think about that?
That's excellent. And what you said about the, where and that's why we're talking about when HBCUs, if you see somebody with HBCU shirt or a fan that's not necessarily a graduate and they want to support the program, why are we asking that question? Did you attend here? Because I see a whole bunch of brothers in Detroit is University of Michigan fans, and I'm not a University of Michigan fan because I went to HBCU. I like Michigan, but I always pull for Michigan State because that seems Michigan State to me feels closer to the HBCU level. But if someone from Michigan sees somebody with a Michigan football shirt on, they don't ask them, "Did you go to Michigan?" It can be a bum on the street. They're gonna say, "Go Blue."
Yep.
But what's weird is that there's 107 HBCUs, only 12 of them play in the SWAC. So I mean,
right.
So it don't only matter like what school you went to, man. Like me, I went to North Texas, then graduated from Houston Tillotson. I still have love for the SWAC, for the MEAC, for all of them. But now Mr. Campbell had mentioned about lining up the shows for HBCU Day. That's going to take some doing. I rarely get on live. I mean, I probably did probably 2 live shows. My thing's history. I think one of the things that would be better, man, is that if we have the option to do it, or if we have the financial ability to do it, to go out to a different game on the HBCU Day. I know everybody's in different parts of the country and stuff, so I mean, like, we go out to a game in Dallas, a game in Austin, game in Houston, whatever, and just show love for the day. and then we can just drop them all the same day. That may work out a little bit easier.
Yeah. Oh, sorry about that.
So think about in context what you're saying. So think about right now. We got the Celebration Bowl tomorrow, right?
Right.
With the Swac and the MEAC. I attended Kentucky State, so I was in the SEAC, whatever, back when I was in school. And so think about with the Celebration Bowl tomorrow, which this being our Black Super Bowl, if you will. If I was a SWAC, the same way we have media roll, if you ever been to a Super Bowl week somewhere in the city, if you've never been to it, you got to check it out. If I was a SWAC commissioner, I would have reached out and I would have had a section one day this week, probably like today or something, or Monday, where I invited all of the Black YouTubers out, especially those who have been covering the HBCU football, and allow y'all brothers to be able to talk to all the players, because like when the Super Bowl happens, every player on those teams that's playing that really never get any camera time or questions, they all get a chance to have some time with the media. Every single player on the team. Unlike the stars throughout the season, you only usually hear from the running back, the quarterback, the receivers, or whoever the defensive, player is, or whatever the top player. But doing something like that, if that would have been extended, I'm sure y'all brothers would have went down there and set up and interviewing some Jackson State and some, the other team players right now.
True.
That don't sound like a bad idea though, for real. Like seriously, do it for the MEAC Swac Challenge, do it for the do it for the Celebration Bowl. Like we need, or even this. Let's go a step further. Media Day. When they have Media Day, you know what I'm saying? Because people say we ain't media, but people are always coming to our channels and watching us. They're getting stuff informed by us. They, they base their opinions on what we talk about. You know what I'm saying? If we write, hey, they'll be like, yeah, you right about that. If we wrong, they'll be like, no, I can't. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about that. Can't rock with that. Let's do, come up with something. We gotta come up with something better. But the media day, like SWAC Media Day, MEAC Media Day, even look at CIAA, SIAC, like they media days, like we need to be at those places and be like, hey, I'm here representing such and such. What, like, let's just say with DJ, I'm here representing Raw Truth Media, or me, I'm here representing HBCU Overdrive. I just want media pass so we can go ask questions to all the players, to the coaches, even maybe talk to the some ADs and to the commissioner. Like, instead of trying to keep us out of the loop, you know what I'm saying? You might want to use, I ain't saying use us, but you gonna have to need us, because that's the only way most people are getting their HBCU content. There's their news for the day. Like yesterday, I was at work. I didn't even know Scotty went on live yesterday, and he was talking about the SWAC with the bad business with suing HBCU League Pass, and how that, how that came about being dismissed and stuff like that. I didn't even know about that, and I listened to it, and I was like, yeah, we need to get out that old guard, and that's what some things we were talking about too. Like, we need to get out that old guard. We need to, if your president or your chancellor or your AD is not forward thinking, is not want to be progressive, then by all means, you have a choice as an alum, as a current student, current athlete, to voice your concerns about that, because in a sense, you go there, you went there, you give your money there. Like if you ain't on the same page with your alumni, the alumni can, you know what I'm saying, withhold their money if they wanted to. I know they don't want to, but they can, because you know what I'm saying, they had, you know, we have that power. We have that power. So we gotta we gotta get people like an Ashley Robinson as an AD. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's only like 38, 39 years old. And we need to get somebody like him, as you know, get more like him as an AD that's more progressive thinking. That's thinking light years ahead instead of thinking about what happened yesterday.
Exactly. Because man, excuse me, I mean to cut you off, man, but it's true, man. These younger ads come in I think it was Gaucher or Ghost from FAMU.
Yeah.
They were killing the game, man. If you look at the top two teams in the Swac, they are Jackson State and FAMU, hands down. The two biggest ones on marketing were Jackson State and FAMU. Now, all these other people over here are so far behind. They can't control their own narrative. I'll give you an example. Grambling. Early this year, they had two big old things, right? Was one, they had tried to hire Art Browse. That wasn't going to work. The second one is the coach, the volleyball coach. They fired everybody. Dion doing the same thing right now. He letting everybody go in Colorado. That's the same blowback. Grambling did not pick up on the volleyball team's success this fall. They weren't pumping out how good they were doing in volleyball, because they don't know how to control their own media, because the people who are in charge never had to deal with it.
Bro, she came in and pumped out wins though. That's the best thing that happened with Grambling. She came in, Coach Phillips.
Yep.
She came in, you know what I'm saying, and and the thing is, she took those same players that Chelsea Lucas had recruited, and just said, just follow me. We gonna win. You know what I'm saying? We gonna win, and we gonna stay winning.
But who promoted it though?
Nobody promoted it. I think the only media outlet that promoted it was HBCU Game Day, and they only did it like once.
Yeah. So it comes down to it, man. It's 100%. These ADs are presidents. Either they gotta let somebody younger in charge know they take over, because HBCU culture and football, whatever, cannot progress when you only have two teams promoting themselves. Which is why the MEAC is so mad right now, because like, man, we beat y'all every year, and ain't nobody talking about us. Who you got promoting it? Nobody.
So just like what I was saying, when we think about with the Swag Media Day, it's our own people we talking about other cultures, but what we doing of not allowing and embracing the YouTubers. When you think about it, I've been watching Scotty channel since he started at Off Script. He couldn't get a pass to Media Day. Yeah, he's one of the brothers. He's one of the brothers like you all that's had a hot channel and been covering this stuff and bringing a lot of HBCU fans out there. And he couldn't get a pass to Media Day, but he was able to get one at SEC. You see what I'm saying? That's our own, because he's just like with that broadcast the brother mentioned yesterday, and uncovering these deals, which, I tell people when these are public institutions, all it takes is the facts of a FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. You can sue anybody for the FOIA and they have to release it, or they're going to end up having to pay you some money. That's law. And you can Google how to do a FOIA request and who to send it to, and they have to respond to you. And this is how information gets out. And what Scott has been doing is due diligence. So whether he's a journalist or whatever or not, it hasn't been stopping him from doing the journalistic research and getting that information and putting it out. The same way when Dion put out, hey, this Southern Heritage, it's costing us more damn money to go and do this when we can be at home and making that money. Now the thing about it is, my question is, who signed this deal? And I know we got some great brothers and sisters that's business majors that would have said, hey, this is not a good return on investment, especially when everybody knew Jackson State, FAMU, teams like that, they actually travel. FAMU, Jackson State, Southern, these are schools that we know off rip that travels where their team goes. You see what I'm saying? And so if I'm Jackson, I've been going up to Memphis. I'm bringing all the fans. First of all, it's Tennessee State neighborhood, so they should have been dominated. But instead, it still was Jackson. So guess what? No, I need the bigger piece of chicken because I'm bringing the fans, with me and all of the cameras, lights, and action. But it took Dion to say, hey, we need money. I understood what he was saying. We don't have to play these money because what's been happening with our HBCUs have been playing these money games to help fit their budget. And all Dion came in and so we got the money ourselves. We can get it ourselves if we making the right deals. So that's somebody, friends that's in there. So I'm hoping that the Swac open up, embrace a lot of you guys as YouTubers, and then for you all to help make yourself more legitimate or whatever, because they the ones that's moving the goalposts. Join the National Association of Black Journalists. You can all get each one of you all that's doing these broadcasts. You can join and get a membership and go through that. I believe Roland Martin is the president of that now, NABJ, but that's national.
I just want to say I actually am a member of that national. I've actually been to the Texas High School Coach Association conference down in San Antonio.
Okay.
I couldn't get to the SWAC media day. They're more of a. I'm trying to be nice about it, DJ. They're slow as hell. Put it like that. I do know Blue Bloods, and I think Coach Walker were able to get in there, but I couldn't get the passing time. Let's put it like that. And then back to the recruiting thing. At the Texas High School Coaches Association, it had over 15,000 coaches. 15,000 coaches from high school, junior high, D3, D2, FCS, FBS, NFL. You want to know how many HBCU showed up?
How many?
One. Willie Simmons. 15,000 coaches. One HBCU coach showed up.
So let's all agree to do this. Let's hold this SWAC commissioner and the SWAC feet to the fire of letting some of y'all brothers who are getting the news out there of the HBCU games and the culture, whatever, hold their feet to the fire. There is no reason of having more y'all in the room, you know what I'm saying, versus just their friends and buddies. Because I find this funny. I watch the Swac press conference, media conference every week, and one of the brothers who been on there, who gets to ask a question every week, I find it funny that he's been a part of the Swac conference.
You still there, brother?
Yeah.
Okay. Monty, you still there?
Oh, okay.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah. No, I was saying, I was like, I hope we hold the Swac and the president feet to the fire of letting more of y'all brothers who's been covering and keeping the HBCU culture and football relevant out here, out here in the world, because social media is the world. It hits everywhere. And I was just saying how I watch the Swac press conference every week, every Monday, and it tripped me out that one of the brothers who had been on there every week, who got a chance to ask the Swac coaches questions, he had just attended his first Jackson State game, the Swac championship. He never even been to a Swac game. And I said, how's this brother been in the room every week and he never had even been to an HBCU game in his life? He went to Jackson State for the first time for the Swac championship. But he had a media pass.
That's a good question.
So that means he knows somebody that knows somebody that got him in, but you guys couldn't get in. Scotty couldn't get on every week. And this brother, and it's funny, this brother has him a little YouTube channel right now, and he don't even have 6,000 people. But, I'm like, well, how did he get in versus this guy? Because I see you guys in All Script and Swag Buzz and all these other people. I see you guys more broadcasting than this guy did, but yet he was a part of the media and had never even been to an HBCU game. The same way you got some of these NFL players talking about they never even heard of a Jackson State before Deion. Well, you don't.
Well, I think I'm gonna say it right now. I think the reason why Scotty didn't get in is a little different than everybody else. Be honest with you, like I said, I don't think the commissioner is very fond of Scotty because everything he kept saying, some of it was true. I'm not gonna lie, some of it was true. But when you keep pulling strings about saying how bad your deals are, and most of them deals were bad as hell. I'm not gonna lie and say they weren't. Yeah, Jeff likes it. Yeah. I mean,
Wait.
The commissioner wasn't gonna do it. That's probably what happened with Scotty. I'm not gonna lie about that.
Commissioner's stubborn though too. Y'all realize Commissioner is still from that old guard.
Mm-hmm. Commissioner, you're true. It's from the old regime, man. It's either my way or the highway. I've been banned by the Swac Twitter feed. I can't tweet the Swac for nothing. Coach Prime kind of jumped on me earlier when I was making fun. Cause I noticed something earlier last year. No one mentioned this, but I noticed this, man. Everybody and their mom was getting a Swac Jackson State offer, right? Nobody was committing. So I just said, hey, well, hell, I want my offer too. Something very funny, something very quick. I got a blast from Deion Sanders Jr., Deion Sanders, everybody. It's once you get on that bad side, man, it's hard to get off. I'll be honest with you. It's hard to get off, man. Who's that right there?
Yeah, Jeff Lightly, I give him props. He really knows how to investigate. Good journalistic skills. I could tell he majored in it. So yeah, his channel's doing well, man. And I want a lot of these HBCU channels to flourish, uh, to take this another level. If we could start talking about more teams instead of one, and and really putting the spotlight in there. Now, to Monty's credit, he's right on this thing. They got to be more open to giving YouTube channels access. This helps them out, getting their name out. If you don't believe me, look at the numbers. So remember that saying, "Help me, let me help you, help me." It's a win-win. But it has to be some true unity. It can't be that gatekeeper energy. I'm not accusing too many people of that. I'm just saying favoritism, all that. That's not going to get HBCUs to the level that we think it could be. But what do y'all think about what I just stated? I want to hear your opinion on that.
The favoritism has to stop. See, here's my thing. If you're doing the right things, then it doesn't matter who's in the room doing the reporting, because if it's something good, then people report good. If it's something bad, then you got a lot of bad to be out there. Media in sports has always been the thing as long as I can remember. If we think about Muhammad Ali, one of his greatest allies was Howard Cosell.
True.
and that's what kept Howard Cosell is what kept him in there when Muhammad was facing, being suspended from boxing and not get a license. It was that relationship he had with Howard Cosell would come on and say, well, hey, so-and-so is fighting, and, I understand they won't give you a boxing license to fight in this state, and we know that, you will sweep the floor with this guy and everything. Howard Cosell fame went through the roof, as well as Muhammad Ali's, and they had that relationship, which helped both of them in their careers and popularity grow. And so that favoritism has to stop amongst our people, especially you all are Black YouTubers out here covering that. Because just like what's about to happen in Colorado, and all of a sudden on my YouTube algorithm, these Denver channels is popping up. Majority of them is white YouTubers that's popping up. Is going to be covering Prime Story. I'm hoping that more Black folks who's been covering it still continuing to cover it. That way you guys can get some of the credit for a lot of the information and relevant stories that you all were bringing to light these past couple of years.
No doubt. We got Cedric Walker in the building. How you doing, my brother? Cedric Walker? Brother Walker? You still there? Okay. Aaron Sanders says, fam, we need all YouTube channels to be together to keep all eyes on HBCU. But if shift on all the teams, you think you are invited to the barbecue? You can't think you're invited. Okay. We do need unity, but sometimes people have their own ways. I don't agree with everybody, but I try to work with everyone and put differences aside. That's something we have to work in the Black community. We don't always have to agree to create a betterment what our people creates. You can't have unity without being able to put differences aside.
You don't see MSNBC fighting CNN.
Nope.
So, I mean, we covering the same thing, man. I mean, we should be all on the same page. But like you said, I think it's all about delivery on how we get things together, how your personality is. I'm cool with it, just about everybody. I have no problems, no beef with anybody.
Same here.
Because honestly, with me, man, look, if you helping me help this cause, I'm cool with you until you choose otherwise.
No doubt. And before I go, any Celebration Bowl predictions? How you think the game is going to go tomorrow? I'm going to start.
And I got I'm gonna say it like this. I got Jackson State winning by 14. I think I said my prediction gonna be 31-17. Neutralize Davis Richard, and basically to beat up on their defense, just run the ball. They're light up front on their defense, and they play a 3-3-5 scheme. So run the ball and keep number 11 off the field. That's all it is. I got Jackson State 31-17.
I was thinking Jackson State 28, NC Central 21. Reason why, because I think Jackson gonna get down in the game early. The one loophole I see in Jackson State's defense, man, is they give up gas plays on the run. They do all year, but most of the schools they play stop running the ball. Well, they ain't happening tomorrow. It's gonna be a ground game, man. I think Jackson gonna get down probably 21-14 before they get to the last 2 touchdowns. I think probably it's gonna be, if I had to guess the game when to play, why the hell not? I think Nugget gets a interception return for touchdown, win the game. 28-21.
What do you think, Monty?
I think there's gonna be a close game. 3 points. I'm gonna say 28-25. Jackson winning on a field goal, and I'm hoping like I said, I'm hoping for just a good game. I hope the ratings are through the roof because this is going to help all HBCUs. This being nationally televised, and there's no reason why that stadium shouldn't be sold out and everything. I really wanted to get down there, but I'm leaving and flying out of town next week for Christmas for Florida, so the wife wouldn't let me get away this weekend. But I damn sure wanted to be there myself if I wasn't leaving on Monday to go to Florida. So
Right.
I'm hoping that, like I said, there's going to be a turnout. I think it's going to be, as a brother was saying, Jackson State. The team has always, the first half, it always takes by halftime for them to click and finally get it going. And Coach Prime been talking about that, and not sure what's going on with that. And hopefully that's something that TC can fix next year. Because if the right team get ahead on them in the second half and hold it, then Jackson State, there's a lot of games they would have lost. So I think they're gonna be down at the half, and they're gonna have to come back and probably win by a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
With the Mexican brother.
Automata. I got 28-24, close game. 28-24 Jackson State. Be a interesting game. Thank you for that, Simply Beautiful. Thank you for supporting the channel. This was a great discussion. And to the brother that said, Big Noriega says no one cares about HBCUs. Once they stop being greedy, stealing money from their own people, they'll strive. Our people are crabs in the barrel. No disrespect, brother, but that settlement sounds like what the Colorados were trying to tell Jackson State fans all week, which was annoying. The people you realize this, the people that's hating on JSU and what they got going on, they say the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you should have paid Prime more. I don't know what happened, man. I really believe Deion Sanders made the move to Colorado because he always wanted to go to FBS. I'm gonna stand by it. I'm not dissing the brother. I just think that he always wanted to go to the FBS. It has nothing. And besides, there's no HBCU that has the money that Colorado has. So even if you try to squeeze in $5 million a year to get Deion Sanders, what Colorado would have done, they would have extended to $10 million. Stop trying to make these like Mr. Campbell pointed out. Period. Deion always wanted to go to Power 5. He made hints about that for 2 years, and we got a new person on the panel. What's good, my brother? Hello? Yeah, the audio's not working. But let's stop all I hate cursing, but I'll say it again. Let's stop all the bullshit, man. It's the same stuff every day. And you know what's crazy in a good way? Ever since TC Taylor was hired, you started to hear it less and less. So all the people that told Jackson State that they need to move on, you got your wish. They're moved on with their new coach. A lot of them are appreciative of what Deion did on the spotlight, but they're moved on to the future of Jackson State. Let's stop the crap and dissing the HBCUs if you don't know the situation. If you're not from Jackson, if you're not from the school, if you don't go to Jackson State, stop trying to put up false narratives and this fairy tale talk that HBCUs, they could have done it. They could have matched $5 million a year. Why would they pay $5 million a year when Jackson State needs more dorms, more updated dorms for students because they're bringing in more enrollment? They're in the city of Jackson, not receiving the state money that they deserve like most HBCUs. Let's talk about that before we down on another school. Mr. Campbell says, can we stop with the narrative that Jackson State's stealing from Prime? There's no facts to that, and all it's doing is trying to destroy that institution. That's all it is. That's real crabs in a bucket. Like the guy that said that's crab in the barrel mentality. No, this is real crab in the barrel mentality, what the haters are doing. Lying on an HBCU to make them look bad. And Mr. Campbell is spot on about it.
It happened before.
Yes.
Remember Prairie View?
Mm-hmm.
So we had the whole narrative from the 80s and early 90s from a different world. Everybody wanted to go to HBCU. Everybody wanted to go to Morehouse and Spelman, and all of a sudden, PV showed up, stealing money. It was all over the place.
Don't forget about Morris Brown stealing money. Texas Southern, their president stole money and used it for herself. So it's not just with, if you think it's with us, it's anybody that has a greedy mentality.
But it's only 3 schools. You mean to tell me out of 365 plus PWIs, no one else stole money?
Oh no, we know some people stole money. There's a lot of people that stole money. But that's the ones that they will highlight. Like,
yeah, if you want to join the stream, here's a link. It's not a call-in show. It's a link. It's a StreamYard link. I just posted it for anyone that wants to join this great discussion, man. I'm having a good time. I got me some coffee right now.
Gotta warn me next time, DJ. I just happened to see the stream this morning. I'm like, what's going on?
Man, it went from like 40 people to 160, but I'm glad everybody's on, man. These conversations need to be had, whether if you agree with somebody or disagree. We got to be about having intelligent conversations. See, we want to talk because we want ourselves to be heard. We want to hear ourselves talk. We got to listen to gain information. That's the difference. That's what we got to work on as a people. Let me read this. V. Carter says, right, raw truth, JSU needs parking too. So they can't spend all that money on the football team and coach staff. And the Shines know this. Do you know what $5 million a year could do for the city of Jackson?
Man.
Yeah, I can't believe people really thought that Jackson State would just give Deion $5 million a year, knowing they need a lot of things to be accomplished. It makes no sense at all.
You know what I don't understand is why we don't use naming rights, man. You look around, all these schools that they have, the banks sponsoring their stadiums and stuff. Yeah, State Farm arenas. You have, like in Austin, the Moody Center is actually sponsored by a company named Moody.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't see no HBCUs that are having these naming rights on their stadiums, man. I mean, the only one that really has one is Texas Southern, but they don't own that stadium. That's a soccer stadium. So, like, I guess it's part of the whole older regime again. You got to think of new ways to get money in, new ways to get your advertising out. You can't just keep hoping on, well, I'm going to sell out homecoming games and Jackson State shows up and plays on a Friday. We sell out that game on Friday. You got to think of other ways to do it, man. I mean, they're not doing it. And that's confusing. Yes, you made good money. I heard around $130 million, so where's the money? Yes, you would not made $130 million.
Yeah, that's a lie. Stop that. Do you know what a school if JSU had $130 million, you know what the campus would look like?
Man, hold up.
What? That's what I'm talking about.
See you drop
I've never seen so much buffooning, my brothers, on they just throwing money out there.
And you know, most of the money Colorado has, you know where it came from? Weed money. I'm serious, man. They made over $9 billion in the last 8 years selling weed in Colorado. They have a budget of $135 million a year going to their colleges from weed. So for them to drop $150 million on football facilities, okay. Keep lighting them up. Keep smoking. That's where they get their money from. In Mississippi, they had the same. They could have had the same thing in Mississippi, but the governor, he vetoed it, talking about 1 billion joints a year. He had a whole speech about 1 billion joints a year. He didn't want to have 1 billion joints in Mississippi walking around, which would have been about $500 million a year they would have made in tax revenue. But I'll get off my soapbox right now, man.
No, y'all speaking real. That not to say too much, but I see why Colorado has made $9 billion off of marijuana. Yeah, I got to be PC. They have some good strains out there, so that's another topic for a different day. But yeah. And Aaron Sanders ain't playing around. He said positive vibes or you won't be in this chat. Hey, y'all gotta come correct, man. Y'all gotta come correct. If y'all listen to HBCUs, especially without true facts, I can't believe somebody really thought Jackson State had the money to pay a coach $5 million a year. knowing the things they need for their university. That's just they're moving a goalpost.
Bro, you can
Dion
go
wanted
on
to be an FBS coach. It had nothing to do with Jackson State.
you can go on Google, man, on the real and look up the page
Right.
of all the coaches. It's free in the Swac. Like I think I seen one example for Grambling. For their coaching staff, they paid the coaching staff like Grambling. P. Jackson probably get like $300,000 a year. So he signed I think he signed a 1.3 million dollars for 4 years. So he's only getting $300,000, and then everybody else is getting paid like if you was a teacher or something like that.
No doubt, man. Shout out to the Pope B. Frank, man. Subscribe to his channel. Man, we all are giving we all have made accurate points about what really went down. It don't take a rocket scientist, man. This and you know what's so sad? Not all Colorado fans, but a lot of you guys won't even let Jackson State move on. That's really sad. Jackson State's so happy about their new coach. They're happy about the recruiting class that they're still doing a great job about. But you can't even let them be. Because you want your school to be the talk of the town. But guess what? HBCUs and the Renaissance is not going anywhere. So
No, sir.
you guys gotta have to deal with it. Y'all just gotta deal with it, man.
Let's see. Okay, Freddie's gone.
Yeah, handle that right there. Did someone handle Freddie right there? Okay, cool. We will not be having buffooning on this chat. And we would definitely not tolerate racism on this chat. Don't think I didn't catch that, Freddie. Can some of the moderators handle that right there? We will not have buffoonery on this chat.
Gotcha.
God, thank you, brother. Any last words before we roll out? This is an excellent stream. Make sure to subscribe to Coach Simmons and HBCU Overdrive.
And check out the stream tonight. I said I'm probably gonna go to the game tonight. See South Oak Cliff play. I'll probably be at the house. So check out the stream tonight at 9:00, and then tomorrow night live post game show 8:30. So make sure y'all tuned in. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you this. So everybody see the picture I took yesterday. I took a Chauncey Billups. I asked him to subscribe to my YouTube channel yesterday.
No doubt, man. This was a productive stream. Coach Simmons, any last words before we roll out?
Oh man, make sure we gotta remain on their necks, man. Because the thing, like I said, this is the culture. So we gotta make sure that we continue putting out the right vibes. How do you say, Coach Walker? All positive vibes.
Yeah. Shout out to Coach Walker. Tomorrow Leader Sports Network, man. The last thing I'm gonna say is I had so much fun on this stream, man. We got to do this more often whenever our times are free, of course. Whoever's in the panel, man, we got to have more in-depth conversations. But all opinions are welcome as long as you're respectful. That's all I ask. But I want everyone to have a blessed day. Peace and love to everybody. Support all content creators that are preaching a good message. of togetherness, of building within our people. This is what it's all about, man. I don't know every single one of you, but I appreciate every single one of you. And to that brother that put that monkey emoji hating on Coach TC, you're banned for life on this channel. We would not tolerate any buffoonery, any self-hatred on this channel either. So you could go somewhere else with that. Thank you for stopping by in the comment section. Mr. Campbell, he said, great show. To me, Coach Simmons, HBCU Overdrive, happy holidays, young brothers. Keep striving for Black greatness. Always, my brother. Always. Appreciate you, man. And I'm gonna talk to Doc to get the contact information. Definitely gotta exchange numbers. But yeah, we're gonna have more of these conversations. If you have any ideas, don't be afraid to inbox me. I'm a working man, so sometimes I may not get to the inboxes, but I'm gonna try to. But this is Raw Truth Media giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. Share this video throughout all social media platforms. Continue the conversation. Y'all have a blessed day, and I'm out.